グリザイアの迷宮。
Bonjour watcher, this is Johnny Mega 45 and welcome back to the Labyrinth of Grisaia. Yeah, in the last episode, I forgot already. Maybe I can click here first.
続きからよ。
Oh yeah, they're practicing gun. It definitely was an unpleasant feeling. The sound and feedback did really excite me either. If anything, I felt calm with every shot, every ripple of emotions in my mind slowly fade away, leaving it as a tranquil as a pool of still water. Skilled snipers sometimes come to think of their rifle as a part of their own bodies, but for me, it was kind of the opposite. Rather than the gun becoming a part of me, it felt like I was becoming part of the gun. I was just one piece of a cold metal machine, a simple mechanism that aimed rifle and pulled the trigger. The simplicity of it was additive. The difference between a hit and a miss felt surprisingly in its clarity. After that day, I began to carry Asako rifle with me on my daily morning run. Let's go, John. A gun against my shoulder, a door at my side, I ran around Wood Mountain. I remember Asako laughing and saying that I looked like some sort of frontline teammate. Of course, this was all just a game. In the middle of my run, I stopped to give Dawn her breakfast, and once she was finished, I hung the empty can of dog food from the previous thing. After that, I ran a distance away, found what I felt an appropriate point, immediately assumed a prompt fire position there. Ready, John? I'm going to fire. Hitting my woman brought her front leg together and lowered her black body to the ground. Bringing the anti-wood with my crossed hair as it swayed in the breeze, I quickly steadied my breath. When the gunshot finally rang out, John reacted with a super flinch. Alright. I do manage it was some sort of fortune-telling game. When my shot landed on target, that meant I have a lucky day. One shot every morning, I kept it up for quite a while. After a few days, I started varying my targets and experimenting with different displays, but found myself getting a little bored. Then I hit on the idea of coming up with more troublesome challenges. I did take off the screw and line up my shooting. It was only listing my naked eye. I always said I can float down to snake, trying to pick it out in motion, or try to shoot a static object while running with a rifle against my shoulder. It didn't matter if it was raining or windy. I stuck to the one routine: one day, one shot, one hit. But not the one was exactly eventful. This game had only become my only real source of amusement. And before too long, Asako made good on her own promise and bought me a toy. Okay, what that toy is?
まったくおめえはよ。人の鉄砲で毎日楽しそうに遊びやがって。お前が勝手にいじると、お前の癖がついて仕方がねえじゃねえか。
I'm servicing it after every shot, you know.
だからお前の癖がつくんじゃねえか。そこで、お前に新しいおもちゃを買ってやった。開けてみな。
Asako jerked her chin to indicate the size of a PP design case sitting impulsively on the top of the table.
ケースのロックナンバーは9029だ。
Oh! I spun the dice as Asako told me to release the push lock and gingerly opened the lid of the case. Inside, I found what looked like a brand new sniper rifle sitting snugly in the back of a shocking absorbing form. What's this?
M24SWS。お前のだ。好きに使え。
Wow, a good toy you bought to a kid. Sitting next to us in this case, it didn't look particularly different from Asako's M40A1, but when I picked it out on my head, I thought it was notably lighter than the rifle I've been using so far. On close inspection, I found it also had a long bolt handle designed to prove highly reliable fitting, and a modified flutter barrel that both reduced the gun's weight and would help it stay cooler while fighting.
構えてボルト引いてみな。
As it struck, I took an upright fire stance, brought the shock strap to my shoulder and pulled the head.
違いがわかるか？
Consider how light this thing is. It's well put together. It feels really solid.
ケブラーコンのファイバーストックだ。それだけで随分違う。
It seems like there's a lot of fancy features too. Was it this expensive?
お前まだまだへったくそだからな。下手くそは道具の性能に助けてもらうのが当たり前だ。工房筆を選ばずなんて言葉もあるけどな。そういうのはいい道具を極めてから初めて理解できるもんだ。初心者こそ道具にかける金をケチっちゃダメなんだよ。
I guess I understand what you mean, but consider that I was just going to use it for my daily cans shooting game. This really seems like a bit much.
たった一つの道でいい。極めてみろ。一つの道を極めるためには様々なことを学ぶ必要がある。そして必要だからと学ぶうちにいつの間にか自分に向いた学び方を覚える。たとえそれがどんな道であろうと、その道を極めた人間というのは、他の何をやるにしても自分の得意分野に置き換えて物事の要領を得る。そういうやつは 何をやらせても卒がない。わかるか？
Yeah, sort of.
まあ、今はなんとなくでいい。何年かすりゃ、お前にも理解できる時が必ず来る。
If you say so.
何も考えずにそれができるやつが天才。考えた上で努力を惜しまないやつもまた天才になれる。時間はかかるが、諦めないことだ。嘘でもはったりでもいい。とにかく、俺はできるんだと自分を信じて諦めなければ、数年後には必ず、なりたかった自分になれる。これはマジだ。
You say some pretty good stuff sometimes, Asako. Can I call you master?
いいのか？うかつにそんなこと言って。私の教えは厳しいぞ。
As long as you try not to actually kill me. Kusakabe Asako was definitely an important part of my life, but it's surprisingly difficult to define the exact role she played in. It'd be easy to use the word guardian, but really she was so much more than that. I don't think she was a mother or a big sister to me, much less a father. So at the end of the day, I had to pick one word. I do say she was my master.
おい見ろユージ JB に頼んで経済産業省届け出済みの納豆弾を250発ももらったぞ。こいつで狩りに行くぞ。準備しろ。
何？
はぁじゃねえよ。狩りだ狩り。鹿狩りだ。泊まりになるぞ。テントと寝袋の用意をしろ。
Okay. The moment I depart into Asako, she sprang right into action, after dragging me along in her wake. But even so, I can't say I dislike spending time with the woman. Day one of our expedition into the forest. Looking back on it, I think the first thing I learned in my time with Asako was the art of brewing coffee. Not only she was happy enough with anything better than caffeinated, even the canned stuff, but on the camping trip, she always opted for drip-bag coffee. Pouring heat water slowly into a cup, I watched the ground beans swell inside the bag. It took some care to extract their flavor properly. Sometime before, Asaka had shown me her method, claiming the ritual of brewing chocolate was enjoyable in its own right. And after that point, I do take over the job entirely.
うめえな。日本の缶コーヒーは世界一うめえけど、やっぱドリップは匂いが違うな。匂いがよ。
Honestly, I'm not sure if she could appreciate the smell or taste of the beans, considering the way she puffed at her cigarette after every mouthful. Asako herself always claimed that cigarettes added flavor to her coffee, but the way I saw it, she was just a nicotine addict, and the coffee would probably taste a lot better on its own.
いいか、ユージ。コーヒーを入れるのがうまいやつは軍で出世する。そしてタバコは吸わない方がいい。タバコを吸わないやつは支給されたタバコを現地で食い物や情報と物々交換に使える。コーヒーとタバコは常に軍と密接な関係にある。と言っても軍人じゃないお前に言っても仕方がないことか。
Apparently, a girl who suffered through countless terrible battles had left behind those words or witness them to his effect. Throw away your gun if you have to, but hold on to your cigarettes. At the sound of the word gun, the coffee in my mouth grew noticeably more bitter. I glanced to my side. The toy Asako had brought me was sitting there not far away. There was no mistaking it for a child's plaything, sitting on the ground with his bat propped up by a high-risk speedbot. It was the very picture of a deadly weapon. What did she expect me to do with this thing? Stupid questions. A gun like that was a tool with only one real purpose. You use it to kill living things. The idea was nauseating. I couldn't even bear to catch a fish, much less to gut one with knife. But now that I was starting to break out of my shell, maybe Asako decided it was time to address my terror of killing head-on. Of course, fish fillers and packaged sticks don't come out from nowhere. They are the processed bodies of animals. Plants are like their own right, and just by breeding we kill tens of thousands of microbes. There is no way for human beings to exist without harming other living things. To hear Asako tells me this meant that life itself was fundamentally a battle. But even so, I found myself picturing a great insurmountable wall looming up to block my path.
いいか、ユージ。弾の一発とて国民の血税だ。無駄弾撃つんじゃねえぞ。撃ったら薬莢はすべて回収する。
Melt into the forest, control your breathing. Approach without betraying your presence. Kill your prey with a single shot. It all sounds simple enough, but killing a living thing in one blood never felt like an impossibly tall hurdle. She wanted me to shoot a deer, to take his life. Once it was that, we turned it to me. I understood all of this was unnatural, but my hair was still reeling and my belly was still churning with acid. It was all I could do not to vomit. I lay there peering into the scope of my rifle. And as I stared, the deer started to find the press cross, and my fingers said move on the trigger, and my breath grew increasingly rough. Asuka told me to clear my mind and pull the trigger calmly. Sweat dripping down my face. I tried to do so, but my fingers just wouldn't move any further than this. My right arm edged with the memory of smashing upon against my mother said, there was so smell like a roll of sewage in the back of my nose. I can't do this. And as the stinging sphere poured my eye, I grimaced and squeezed them shut. But as I sensing that something was amiss, the deer burst into a run and quickly vanished deep into the forest. I can do it, Asaka, I just can't. I couldn't bring myself to kill. It wasn't like I was making a moral stand, I was just a whiny spoiled child. I was closing my eyes to a reality I didn't want to think about it. I understood that perfectly well, but I still couldn't pull the trigger.
そうか。やっぱ無理か。だよな。
As I curled up miserably to myself, Asaka took a cigarette from her pocket and proceeded to light it.
お前はガキのくせにいろんなものを見すぎたな。
Fundamentally, killing people isn't a job that a normal guy can do. Even if you have a clear reason to take life, the experience is going to leave a mark on you. When you're still new, you can usually get the job done anyway. It's easier to pull the trigger without a second thought when you're frantic, worried about actually completing your mission properly. But soon enough, you get a few jobs under your belt. The routines start to come more natural. Your mind can afford to wander a little, and when things get really dangerous, for a while you can probably keep functioning anyway. Up until thoughts like, am I really doing the right thing, start popping into your head. Once those little doubts start nagging at you, it's basically over. Your doubts makes you hesitate. Your hesitation slows you down. Sometimes it's even turned to fear, stopping you dead in your tracks. When things get that far, there are a lot of options left open to you. You can fail on the job, which means dying, or you can lose your mind and turn into a killing machine. There aren't really any decent outcome.
殺しで作った心の傷は殺しで解消するしかないと思ったんだが、まあ無理か。
It seems like a pretty cut attempt at shock therapy. The simplicity of it was almost childish, like someone tried to distract you from the pain of the shock by pinching your other arm. Still, Asako told me it had worked for her, so maybe it was an effective treatment in its way. If you push yourself relentlessly forward, you won't have the time to hesitate or dwell on the past. If you focus on your job single-mindedly, eventually that scar on your heart will just be one among many. You'll grow numb to the pain.
私にはそういう生き方しかできなかった。けど、お前もそうだとは限らない。私みたいになっちまえば、もうどうしたって普通には戻れない。悪かったな、ユージ。
I just...
くそ。この程度のことでピーピー泣くんじゃねえよ。いいか、ユージ。男の涙ってのは人のために流すもんだ。自分のために流していいのは汗だけだ。覚えておけ。
Okay.
まあ焦ることはない。いや、むしろ殺す必要もない。普通に生きていく分には生き物を殺さなくても問題ないからな。今回の狩りはそのための簡単なテストだ。私がお前にかけた安全ピンが簡単に抜けちまわないかのテストだよ。
Safety pin.
テストの結果はまあ良好だ。お前はそれでいい。だがな、ユージ。必要がないから殺さないと、殺すことができないでは大きく違う。殺せないという弱点が、いつか自分の命を落とすきっかけになる可能性もある。しかし、そんな可能性が限りなくゼロに近い生活に戻すために、こうして山の中でリハビリを続けてるんだから。私がお前にさせたこのテストは、あくまでも懸念に対する保険のようなものだ。どうしても殺せないのなら、殺さずに済む方法を探せばいい。それだけのことだ。
I failed to live up to Asako's expectations, and now she's actually comforting me. That's only made me feel more miserable. I almost wish she just jabbed me into the forehead and make fun of me. It was probably be easier to take than this. I'm a coward.
人間なんて、臆病ぐらいでちょうどいい。バカと英雄は早死にするもんだ。
Maybe that was true, but at this rate, I'd never be able to protect anyone I care about. Face to face with my own helplessness, I found myself sinking back into depression. We spent that night out on the mountain as well. It's odd the way human minds work. Even when they set up camp in a wide open space, they end up sleeping under a tree or next to the rock. Without sunset or enclosure, it's hard for us to rest easy. It might be an instinct left over from the days when we live in the trees to protect ourselves from predators. Or even maybe a subconscious yearning for the confined protection of the womb. Come to think of it, my hiding places were always pretty cramped. The closet where I waited out my father drunken rampage was barely enough big enough for me to squeeze, and that sense of confinement was already comforting. Maybe tiny spaces like that was something like a security blanket for me. At night, my dreams always follow a predictable pattern. I found myself in a vast, quiet mansion, its floor covered by a thick rug. Eventually, touching on the claw wall broke the silence. Suddenly, I began to run. Someone was chasing me. I didn't know who it was, but I knew I had to flee. Panic, I ran through the huge mansion. A great heavy door appeared before me, pulling it over. I led into the gloomy room beyond. Inside, I found my way to the closet door, opening and hiding myself there. Hardly there with my head in a hand, I waited the perfect silence for my pursuer to pass me by, but at the time my eyes adjusted to the darkness and I saw a box in front of me. When I turned my head, I found that there were many others just like that all around me. I knew what was inside those boxes, even without opening the lids. What is that? Ew! The box right in front of me about the size of the building. By opening eyes. Over there, my mother's side. This wasn't all the rest, but there many other boxes I had created. And everybody inside those boxes were looking at me and speaking to me. Why did you kill me? Why did you save me? Why are you still alive? Why does a ruthless killer like you get to survive? A part of me knew this was a dream, but it was driving me insane anyway. I could scream for help, all I wanted no one was going to come and save me. One person who protected me was gone now. As I cowered in the darkness, I could see her looking down at me, a sorrowful expression on her face. Kazuki. My voice couldn't reach her. Anyway, by that, there was no way for her to help me now. It was happening all over again. There was nothing I could do, nothing.
おい、ユージ。大丈夫か？しっかりしろ。
はい。
ああじゃねえよ。お前、またうなされてたぞ。だから、ああじゃねえっつの。ああ、汗でドロドロじゃねえか。
Taking a towel, Asako began to wipe with a sticky layer of reflection that had coated my body as I slept. I didn't understand her. Her past was obviously just as bad as mine. If not worse, how could she be so strong? She killed people just like me, and she found some reason to kill me anyway. Asaka told me that nothing was more valuable than experience. Did that mean if I experienced enough, I could be as strong as her one day? Because someone I could follow out of the darkness.
なんだ。人の顔じっと見やがって。
Asako, on close inspection, you're actually a pretty fine woman.
失礼なやつだな。私はよく見なくてもいい女だ。
Sorry, Yuuji, I will not fall in love for you. A little late to worry about all of this now. Had I already decided to trust this woman?
ほら、チューしてやるから、もう一度寝ろ。
I'm not a complete baby, you know.
じゃあ、大人のキスだ。
What? When I was young, Kazuki was always the one who gave me a good night kiss to keep the nightmare away. I wasn't really happy about being treated like a baby, but looking back after the fact, maybe she was the reason I could sleep so peacefully back then. I was starting to think women were actually pretty amazing.
ユージ、お前
What?
いや、なんか今、お前の別の才能に気がついたというか。
あれ？
うるせえな。そんな目で私を見るなよ。なんでもない。もう寝ろよ。ほら。
Okay. I don't know if Asako magic charm did much in particular, but I didn't have any more bad dreams that night. Because Asako had definitely become very special to me. There was no doubt about that. But if her life was ever in danger, if I had to pull the trigger to save her, I probably wouldn't be able to do it. I'd probably stand there and let her die. That fear was weighing more heavily on me with every passing days. And before too long, it would be realized in a very different form. Oh, it's about time. A few days has passed since the dead end of our failed hunting trip. That morning, as I was clinging on in the wild around my days, I noticed a strange clattering sound coming from the main room of the city. Is she back already? Asako had been called out of a sudden job a few days earlier, and she'd be coming back in the afternoon, so it was too early for her to come home. It wasn't her, could it be John? I stopped shouting and listened closely. From the main room, I could hear my jaw barking and growing out a storm. What she so woke up? What? There was something utterly despair about the sound John was backing. I only didn't know how to say what was going on. I found that something strange was coming. A bear! For a few seconds, I couldn't even figure out what I was looking at. I was poking in the kitchen trash. And John, holding herself to lower ground, was spouting a fang barking fiercely at her. A bear! Just remember when you are in this situation, the bear seems to notice my presence. Lifting his head out of the trash can, he snuffled loudly. Standing upright, the animal probably had been more than 2 meters tall, as if I could see his enormous body was practically a mass of mud. When we got out in throw, I couldn't even move. If I take a step back now, that is going to charge right back at me. Making a way with Kaishi to approach. Running will provoke it to attack. That's the nature of the wild predator. I had to keep my eyes fixed on the bear. You probably hadn't seen anything like me before. That should make it somewhat cautious. That's I could stand here staring at it. However, once his eyes out, I decided to take a step forward. My policy will be instantly exposed. Well, what do I do? As I was doing my way to my attention, John let out another fierce bark from across to the room. Reacting to the sound, the bear glanced away from me for a moment, turning his eyes down to my top. Now, I broke into the run immediately, but the bear didn't even react. In his attention, I turned to John, still braced low against the ground, and a deep growls of anger. Oh! I think John gonna die here! And Yuuji will pull the trigger and kill the bear. Damn it! Bursting to my bed, I pulled the rifle case out of my bed and began turning in the dials on number 909. Damn it! My fingers were trembling with fear, I knew what I needed to do, but I couldn't get the numbers to line up properly. Even as I said here, the bear might be eating John, but the thought only made me impatient, and I found my clumsy with the metal guy. It's still moving the dice over 8, and I found myself turning down, rotating all the way to the one and back again. The stupidity of it left me burning with irritation. Why am I? Come on! Finally managed to unlock the case, I easily grabbed the handful of armor directly from the packing side, not bothering with my scroll or magazine. Bullets sticking to my fingers, I rushed back to the kitchen where I left my rifle earlier. Don't move! Taking the weapon to my arms, I pulled back the bow and pushed the round directly to its sword chamber. Pressed a shot against my shoulder and pointed the pen at the bear. Stupid animal, get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of this cabin! Shouted to the creature couldn't possibly understand. I stood there with my finger on the trigger of my rifle, trembling like a leaf in the wind. The bear gave me a sideways glance, then shifted its attention back to John with something like a snort of disdain. Best to underestimate me. I had to shoot it. I had to. If I didn't kill this bear right now, I was going to attack John. I knew perfectly where I had to do, but my finger refused to cooperate. Whenever I tried to squeeze the trigger, I found an unsealed wall beside me. But I sensing that I didn't have the guts to interfere. The bear charged towards my door, ignoring me completely. No! John! John! A single swipe of the bear as outside my jaw flying to the wall with a loud yes, she fell to the ground, and that like that twitching head, unable to stand. The bear stroked over, sunk its teeth deeply to John's upper back, and then began to carry its small blade towards the cabin door. Wait! Just shoot the damn door! Screaming desperately, I point my rifle towards the ceiling and fire a shot to try and intimidate the animal. The bear didn't much, so flinched. I could only watch as it strode boldly out of the cabin, taking John with it. Ah! As soon as the bear vanished from the view, I abruptly collapsed to the floor. It took a good 10 seconds for my mind to even process what I just did. It took John. The one thing and relied on me for his survival. Elias congratulated me with it and told me to protect. He had been taken away right before my eyes, and I hadn't done anything about it. As I said this, stupefied, my eyes found a red stain spreading slowly across the cabin's wooden floor. It was John's blood. Remind me of the pool of blood I had seen on the day my parents died. I curled out to the balls, paralyzed by fear and killed. It's happening all over again. I still can't do anything. A wave of sheer that despair nearly crushed me its weight. But it wasn't over yet. There was still a chance John was still alive. I might be able to make it any time. If I got the right up, I might manage to save her. Breaking my teeth fiercely, I used all the fire as I can to push myself out to the floor. My eyes flashed around the room, searching defensive for anything that could serve as a weapon. Out of the corner of my eyes, I noticed a large knife struck the cutting board with kitchen knife. Grabbing it instantly, I turned the bolt around to the cabin. Holding the knife with my mouth, I lifted the rifle bolt and pulled it backward, and then loaded another bullet into the exposed chamber. Looking out, I found that spots of John's blood had formed a small trail on the forest. I had to get her back. That dog's mine. I have to protect her. She's my family. I get her back no matter what, even if I had to kill that bear to do it. Inside this thought crosses my mind, I felt a strange heat in my back of my nose, and a bad sense of rage rose inside me. It was the same thing I felt on the day I murdered my father. Yes! Kill it! Kill that is your enemy. He wants to take everything from you. Kill it. The voice of he also, the man made me go to words that goes in my head. That's right, I can't just run away forever. That won't solve anything. I got to kill it. Once I kill it, everything will be over. In that moment, I couldn't think about anything else. I had to follow that bear. I finally killed it. I had to catch on bear. There was no room for any other thoughts in my mind. When the second is consuming, following the trail of John's blood, I traced the bear path through the forest. Yeah, I didn't care if I died. If that bear ended up eating me, fine. But not John. I had to get it back. Using my knife as a mad cat, I hacked my way through the branches of overgrown hair, trying not to stumble the rest of my path. Whenever I lost sight of the trail, I spread flat against the ground and pressed one ear to the earth, trying to send the bear heavy footsteps. I could feel them. The animal was probably too hungry to no more. Anymore, I could actually feel the vibration. Imagining the forest around me as a perfectly round pole, I carefully estimated where the ripples I felt were coming from. This way, Turning my head and sniffing at the air, I discover a wave of blisters stain and a hint of iron that suggests fresh blood. Picking up my rifle and knife from the ground beside me, I quickly rose my face towards my target. It's not far, I catch up in no time. As I approached, I licked the back of my hand and headed up to the air. Realizing that I was downright off the bed, I let a small smile spread across my face. The bushes flew away, my head was shaking and unsure. I found the enemy I was looking for. When we started, I began slowly my feet. His water was limiting. It was breathing in its own way. I had to synchronize myself to that right. If I controlled my breathing perfectly, I melt into the natural world. Not even whatever could we ever to notice my presence. There he is. The bear was about 300 meters ahead of me when I finally spotted it. It was making its way up the natural slope, still holding John in his mouth. Stooping where I stood, I quickly raised my rifle. For a moment, I regret not installing the screw, but at this distance, there was no chance I missed. There was 0.0 we imagined nature. All I had to do was carefully pull the trigger. That could have over such close range, it would be more than enough to take the thing down. Unfortunately, I lost my cool at the sight of the animal. I pulled the trigger before I was actually ready, with my feet pulled flat awkwardly on the other. As the 7.6 was left the battle, the recoil hit me hard. As I sit over the below my head, gunshot ringing in my head, I tumbled painfully to the ground. Damn it! I looked up quickly to check my target. The bear had turned around to face me. Jaw was still dangling for his mouth. Stupid idiot, how could you miss that shot? Mentally cursing myself, I tried to stand only to realize that my legs were trembling. And instantly, I noticed that my heart was beating so powerfully, I felt about ready to explode. I was terrified. It was the same thing I felt when I attacked my father and left my mother to die. The kind of terror that clinches you to like glue, holding you like an insect in a trap. The gunshot probably started the bear, but by the time my head was gliding down me when I lay fall on the ground. Allowing John to fall from his mouth, it began shuffle slowly around, positioning itself so that I was directly in front of both of his eyes. Being by the guns of the blade that I found a new player, I couldn't move so much at the inch. If I tried to run away, I died. That thing would attack me. Instead, I shot it my back. I couldn't give any indication I wanted to flee. The slightest flinch could prove to be fatal. Even the movement of a drop of sweat trickling down my forehead might be enough to prompt the back attack. Overwhelmed by the fear, I forced the air lung into his forehead. Out of the corner of my eye, I could see John lie limply on the ground, her neck broken by the bear's jaw. I didn't feel pity or anger, there was emotion and despair entirely from my mind. The only thing I felt in that moment was a simple instinctive kind of fear. If I show any weakness, I'm going to end up like that. It was the same when I seen my mother fall face to face with an inevitable. After that, I was paralyzed by the thought that it might be my turn next. This was just pathetic. Was I really just going to sit there trembling and I did not make any progress at all? I thought I tried to overcome this kind of fear, and even if I did manage to survive just by sleeping here, I knew properly whether I end up hating myself for it. I do end up hating myself for it. Biting down on my lower lip until I taste the blood. I slowly stretched out my hand towards the rifle I dropped as I fell, my eyes still fixed on those there. Grabbing the slider, I dragged my weapon across the ground, but the moment it entered my field of vision, I had to fight the urge to curse out. Damn it! The gun must fall muscle blood to the ground. The barrels were packed tightly with black soil. If I pulled the trigger, the expanding gas that usually pushed bullet out of the muzzle would bounce back out of the blockage because the pressure to explode inside the barrel before the dirt could be ejected. I realized this almost instantly. I picked up the gun and tossed it aside. The bear perhaps having recognized that the rifle was my weapon and followed his movement with his eyes. This was my chance. Quickly pushing myself out of the ground, I grabbed the knife and taken it from the cabin's kitchen and charged towards the bear. Yeah! Stay low to the ground, move quickly and quietly, control your breathing, become part of nature and close in before they know you're coming. The bear had been distracted by the rifle, but he reacted to my approach. Still in that brief moment, I brought myself 3 steps forward, and that was enough to put me at the advantage. Giving me those 3 steps was a fatal mistake. I rushed towards the overgrown guys, my body level, and the bear ran, stretching out his 4 legs towards me. Not a hard step, my mother's head would collide with his savage anger. I thrust the knife in carefully on my side of the enemy's throat. But the bear evaded my attack at the last moment, pulling itself back out, and in that instant, one of his massive arms lashed out and sent my weapon flying. As the bear harsh breath beats against my face, his bright red mouth shot yellow plunged towards me. It's going to eat me! My mountain academy right against the animal's massive body. Reflexively, I reached out my arms and wrapped them around his neck, managing to prevent him from biting me. But that gappy red paw was now only engaged and small red stings started raining down my face. Unable to even close my eyes, I found myself staring into the face of terrifying death, not one that I likely to experience with the menace at most. I was going to die. At this rate, this bear was going to kill me and eat me. Was I really going to die like this? A failure who couldn't even protect a dog. The weak died. Was that just the rule? Would it be better to just accept it? Memories flashed rapidly through my mind. The death of my sister. The death of my father. The death of my mother. The death of the girl who born with me in the depths of the hell. They all died because they were weak, in one way or another. Was weakness just an unconditional death sentence and was something that cruel and unfair the fundamental rules of our world? Maybe it was, but even so, I wanted to know the reason I survived. I was free, so why was I still alive? Thoughts churned chaotically through my mind. Nothing like that answered me much, but just as I was on the verge of giving up, I felt my chest going strangely cold. Did I survive so I could kill something else? Is killing all I got left now? All that whining about wanting to die, and here you are desperately searching for some excuse to live. How completely pathetic. Are you that afraid of death, Kazumi Yuuji? I could have suppressed a sneaker at my own shamelessness. Hey! It really was hilarious. What a complete joke. On the verge of bursting into lava, I felt something melt inside my head, filling with hot mud. This is idiotic. The world wet before my eyes. The massive bear presses down on me suddenly looked like some cheap animal style usually in the low-budget comedy skit. Before I knew it, I was jabbing a finger to his throat. Then I reached out and pressed it out to grab a wood stick lying on the ground nearby. It's only a twist, really. No, it was only something really like. My right perfectly bent. I took that tiny piece of wood and pierced one of the bear's eyes with it. Even the stylish creature has a few vulnerable points that it can't defend with layers of muscle. The bear had left one of those weak spots. His eye was completely exposed to his enemy. With a terrible throaty scream, the enemy bolted off me. The twist still lodged in his own eye. Praying for his oppressive weight, I slowly pushed myself off the ground. The wall was tilted around me. With staggering, unsteady stance, I made my way back to the rifle. I tossed aside and picked it up. A small laugh pushes its way out of my mouth. With a few knocks against a nearby tree trunk, I dislodged the soil from the bed of my gun. Pulling back the rod, I took the bullet from my pocket and pushed it back into the chamber. And then turned back to the bear, which was wriggling and screaming as he displayed, trying to remove the twist from his eyes. End of the line. Once you are dead, you won't have to fear any more pain or fear or suffering. With that silent thought, I pushed the muzzle of the gun right out against the bear's head. Let's just get this over with already. So just now, my finger was closing on the trigger, I noticed an odd rustling in the bush behind me. Leaving my hand away after to it, I turned towards the south. Two bears cubs staring at me from the underground. What? Even at a glance, I could see they were painfully dead on the verge of starvation. Instead, I saw that a small flame snap on fire centered across my heart and everything fell to pieces. I see you were planning to feed my dog to those two, weren't you? You were going to feed your cubs. A member of my family, eh? Why did it have to be my dog? There are the prey around here, right? Plenty of deers and tanuki. Why did it have to be John, damn it? But whether or not see I probably knows inside me, kill and eat anything. Why does it affect me? What kind of reasoning was that? What a selfish load of crap. Blech! What? I quickly pressed a hand to my mouth, but vomit forced its way out of the gas between my fingers. I knew how selfish I was being. I was just pretending the world revolved around me. Killing this bear now wasn't going to bring John back to life. It wouldn't be pointless. A pointless act of murder. Carnivores ate other animals was completely natural, but even if that was how things worked, I wasn't nearly mature enough to just accept it. Spinning out the rest of the vomit that I had gotten into my mouth, I slid myself and pulled the trigger on my gun. As the sound of the gunshot echoed like a thunder through the clear blue sky, Kusaka and Saka turned around in the entrance of a ransacked cabin.
何かトラブルがあったのは間違いないみてえだな。
Considering the way the road had been turned upside down and the blood all over the floor, it was fairly clear a bear had broken into her looking for prey.
銃声が聞こえたってことは、あいつはまだ生きてるってことか。
I trained him better than to go down that easily. And not long after Asako muttered these words to herself, I returned to her with my head hung low. The knife was in my right hand, my rifle on my shoulder, and my left hand I carried the red collar John had worn around her. With slow tragic footsteps, I made my way back to the cabin.
何があった？
I looked up in response to Asako's question, but found myself unable to answer it. If I opened my mouth, I was afraid I'd just start wailing incoherently.
熊か？
With a slight nod, I finally managed to force my lips apart. Asako. In the end, I couldn't kill it. I just couldn't. I'm useless. I'm so useless, Asako. I forced out the words through trembling lips, my breath in rage, as Asako reached out to wrap her arms powerfully around me.
それでいい。お前はそれでいいんだ。
Ah, how cute. A woman with a male child. It's just way too cute. Just cute. How I wish I had an older sister. Holding my head to her chest, Asako pushed her hands into my hair and muzzled it roughly around. In that instant, something had been frozen inside me, I proudly thought, and I began to cry. Regret, sadness, and charging rushed towards me at all once. It was simply unendurable. Why did it have to happen? I went out of the question, knowing there was no answer.
うるせえ。男がそんぐらいのことで泣くんじゃねえよ。バカ野郎。
Even as she spoke those words, I could tell that Asako was crying as well. In the shaking of her voice, I could hear an unspoken question. How much does fate have tormented this kid? That evening, Asako made a grave for John behind the cabin. She said it would help us move on. John's body was actually inside it. The only thing we buried was the dead collar that I carried back from the woods. I picked out a collar as a fashion at the time. It seems like a good color since John was a girl. The grave itself was very simple around Richmond's son's store with pink eyed and the rest of where the collar was buried. But studying the fence was enough to help me regain my emotional balance. To put it another way, after a long time spending living for nothing, I finally found a new goal to pursue. Hey, Asako. I feel like I couldn't protect something I love.
そうだな。
I'm sick of being coward, and I'm sick of being running away. Asako, you say I find a way, but I don't think I can take any more than any of this. I want to be strong. I want to be like Asako. I'm not talking about physical power or knowing how to fight. I want to become a genuinely strong person. I think I owe that to her.
やめとけ。お前は優しすぎて弱すぎる。それに、長生きはできない生き方だ。それこそ後悔するぞ。
No matter how I spend the rest of my life, I'm going to die with a lot of regrets. So in the meantime, I might as well try to do something worthwhile. I might not be good for much, but I want to find a way to be useful to someone. If I can manage that, I think I'll be able to die with a smile on my face.
アーメンだよ。私のように生きるって言っても、決して楽な道じゃないぞ。
I'll tough it out.
覚悟だけでどうにかなる仕事じゃない。特にお前みたいに余計なことを考えちまう奴には向かない仕事だ。
Can you just turn off your brain and do what you are told?
そりゃ、できなくはないが。
Okay, then I'll go with that.
出前のピザ頼むみてえに簡単に決めるなよ。もう少し考えたらどうだ？
The more I think, the harder it gets to actually do anything. Today made that painfully obvious. I don't want to sit around and agonize anymore.
なあ、ユージよ。お前には、オスロがかけた殺人装置としての暗示がまだかかってる。今のお前が、ぼんやりとした寝ぼけ顔のガキでいられるのは、その上から私が暗示をかけ直したからだ。私がお前の神だ。お前は、私の命令がなければ虫一匹殺せない。お前が鹿や熊を殺せなかったのも、それが原因だ。
That's just handicap. Get rid of it, will you?
ダメだ。私がそれを必要だと認めた時だけ、特別に安全ピンを抜いてやる。
What a pain.
バカか貴様は、図に乗るな。いいか。死にかけの貴様を拾ったのはこの私だが、今の貴様を養っているのは私の給料。つまりは、国民の血税だ。貴様のようなヘタレを一人前にするために、今までいくら金を使ったと思っている。貴様が着ている服、貴様が訓練で使用する武器弾薬、貴様の心身英気を維持するための領末、クソして流す便所の水道料金に至るまで、すべては国民の血税で賄われていることを肝に銘じろ。
Right.
はいじゃない。返事はレンジャーだ。
Ranger.
貴様には、貴様を育てるために支払われた費用に見合う働きをするまでは、勝手に死ぬことすら許可されてはいない。その昔、まだこの国に軍隊があった頃、とある将校がこう言った。一人で10人の敵を倒すまで生き続けろと。だが今は時代が違う。そこで貴様は、国民10人の生命を救うまで、死ぬことは許されない。と、言いたいところだが、貴様は半人前だ。5人に負けてやる。国民5人を救うまで、勝手にのたれ死にすることは許さん。わかったか？
In other words, I believe the 5% means the 5 girls. I think the 5%? Who knows, right? Ranger!
自分のためには、引き金を引けなくても構わない。だが、他人のためなら、迷わず引き金を引ける男になれ。いいな。
I try not to kill myself in the process. Oh, it's back here. And that's how I end up becoming a so-called disciple of my own free will. She really taught me a lot. Barehanded fighting as a method of self-defense. The handling of the small arms even show how to drive a car and ride a motorcycle.
それだけじゃないわよね。
Well, I guess not. I never put it into a practice, but she showed me how to fly helicopter and small airplanes as well.
それだけじゃないわよね。
What are you talking about? Too many things come out of mind. I really can't narrow it down.
女の扱い方も朝子に習ったでしょ。
Oh, right. I guess there was that too.
忘れたとは言わせないわよ。
One day, about 2 years after Asako and Yuuji began living together,
もう、可愛くないなあ。綺麗なお姉さんが手料理作ってあげるって言ってるんだから、素直にありがとうって言っておきなさいよ。まったく。
Thank you, JB.
そうやってすぐに言う通りにすれば、私の機嫌が治ると思わないこと。変なところばっかり朝子に似て、まったく。
Having used my day off on work visit to Asako Cafe, I was in the middle of cooking up a meal for the three of us, something I now get on the regular basis. I didn't exactly think of it as an obligation, but if I left things out to Asako, it was plainly obvious that they eat nothing but instant food year round. And above all else, I was a bit irritated by the way Yuuji never seems to enjoy his meal no matter what I serve him. In other words, I suppose there was a bit of womanly stubbornness at work. It seems like Jamie always mad. I think she hates me.
あいつは万年イライラ病なんだよ。ああやってイラついてみせて、私は仕方がなくあなたの面倒を見ているのよって言いたいだけだ。
I don't get it. What's the point?
それが女ってもんだ。そういう宗教なんだと思って諦めろよ。
そこ！聞こえてるわよ。
はいはい、悪かったよ。相変わらず地獄耳だな。いいか、ユージ。ああいう女だけは怒らせるなよ。小さなことでネチネチしつこい上に、そのことを何年経っても忘れない。一度目をつけた他人の傷に何年もかけて丁寧に塩を塗り込んでくる。最悪だぞ。
だから聞こえてるっての！ほら、料理できたわよ。食べなさい。
お、来た来た。
You really piled it up.
こいつの作る料理はいつだってそうなんだよ。一つの皿に山盛りにしてみんなで食う。施設にいた頃からそうだった。
うるさいわね。使う食器の数が少ない方が後片付けが楽でしょ？
Is she really rational or is she just lazy?
ズボラな方に1000ドル。
バカ言ってないで、さっさと食べなさいな。
ああ、JB、ビールもう一本開けてくれ。
もう5本目よ。飲みすぎ。
うるせえや。てめえの稼ぎで飲んで何が悪い。口うるせえ嫁じゃあるまいし、ただでさえクソつまらねえ私の人生からわずかな楽しみを取り上げるんじゃねえよ。
もうこれで最後だからね。私も1本もらうわよ。ユージは何にする？
ユージに酒は出すなよ。こいつ酒は嫌いだから。
出すわけないでしょ。
I'm not sure I hate alcohol. I just don't like drunk people.
そっか。じゃあ朝子なんか大嫌いよね。ごめん、気がついてあげられなくて。すぐにこの女との養親関係を破棄するから。
破棄すんなっつの。だいたい私がこんな麦ジュースで酔っ払うわけねえだろ。
Well, Asaka doesn't really change mind when she drinks. I guess I got used to it.
人間なんでも慣れだな。
慣れと麻痺は別です。
He just got numb.
これうまいぞ JB。
聞きなさいよ、私の話を。
ユージ、お前肉嫌いだろ。そのソーセージよこせ。私が食ってやる。
ソーセージは1人2本っていうか、お肉を食べる前に野菜を食べなさいっていつも言ってるでしょ。ほら、野菜
だとよ。ほらユージ、野菜を食え。野菜に慣れておけばジャングルで食い物がない時に長生きするぞ。
Okay, and the episode here. It's been fun already.
セーブするわ。
And said the dog die. Adios e famosa.